Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, hitting you again with a little bit of toy talk, a bit of a toy discussion, although today I'm not going to speak about any particular subject or anything like that. I'm just going to show you some of my recent pickups, some of my best pickups from 2021 or more toys that I got towards the end of 2021, because for a big chunk of last year I wasn't really toy hunting. My focus was elsewhere. I was doing a lot of filmmaking stuff and that kind of thing. If you've seen any of my videos before where I talk about filmmaking, you'll know how much that takes up of my life. I did a big video a few months ago talking about all the stuff I'd been doing in my big break where I'd not been on YouTube, so you can find out a little bit more back then if that's something that you're interested in. I didn't really do much toy hunting last year until towards the end of last year, where I really got the bug for it again. So I went to a few cool places, a toy fair, went on some days out and stuff like that, and then also just acquired some things that people had given me, things that I'd found online at a decent price. So I'm going to show you a couple of them things today. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this thing, and I got this from Pizarro's Pieces. Big ups to Tom every time. If you follow any of the toy community on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that here in the UK, you probably know Tom. I've been on his live streams a couple of times. I really enjoy that guy's company. I really enjoy what he's doing. He's a proper toy geezer, and he had this in his collection for a long time, but when he was thinning out his collection towards the end of last year, I jumped straight on that and said, yo, let me buy that off you, bro. So he sent me this for a really nice price. I've got all the Toxic Crusaders loose, but they're like my favourite toy line of all time, so if I can have a couple of them carded. I love the artwork. They look so cool displayed on the shelf. I love the neon colours. They're the pinnacle of mutant toxic 90s shit. The Toxic Crusaders are up there with my favourite toy line of all time, so it was really awesome to get this. Another one of my favourite toy lines of all time that come with really cool card art, the Body Wars. So I got this off my boy Alex Cador, another guy that you might know from the toy fairs. He's always got nice stuff for sale, real high-end stuff, and these are called La Guerra del Virus, but they are actually the Body Wars. That's just a foreign translation, a Spanish translation, I believe, even though these are from Italy. I'm not sure. My Spanish and my Italian is a little hazy, so let me know in the comments below if I fucked that up. But I love these toys. I love the card art on them, and I love the fact that they look like they're done in a beryl marker. They look like they're done in felt tip pens. It's so scandalous, so shameless, so tacky, and I fucking love it. So I've got most of these now carded. There's 6 in the set, and I've got 4 of them. I'm looking for the other 2. I need the stomach and the lungs. So if you've got them, let me know. I would love to get them at a decent price and add them to my collection. I also want to do a video on these at some point, so I'm going to need them all loose as well, because I've just got them all carded. So if you've got any Body Wars, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Maybe we can work out a deal. So again, shouts to Alex Cador for an awesome piece, sending it me. Anytime he gets Body Wars, he always hits me up. He's got a nice collection of Garbage Pail Kids and that kind of thing. He's into all that gross out shit that I'm into. So whenever he comes across them, he always hits me up first, and I really appreciate it. So another place that I went to toy hunting towards the end of last year was Blackpool. Blackpool's got some dope toy shops, and I picked quite a bit up, and we really purged a lot of dope shit from Blackpool. But one of the things that I got that I put on my Instagram and people got gassed over was this thing, the Tyco Gorzak, the monster that you can control. Now, I've wanted one of these for many years. I've never even seen one out in the wild, only online, and they're never stupidly priced, although a lot of people, when I put this up, had never heard of it. They'd never even heard of this toy before, so it was cool that I could even introduce some people to a toy that they'd not even heard of before. And finding one in the box was also really nice, because like I said, toy art is a fucking thing, and this is fucking dope toy art. Check that. So this was released by Tyco, which are more known for doing remote control cars and that kind of thing. And although this isn't a remote control toy, it's very much an electronic toy. I love that blue and the orange. This guy looks like King Caesar from Godzilla. And I said that I wasn't putting up a picture on my Instagram straight away of it. I was just showing the box off. But I will show you now the actual thing that comes inside it. I've taken him out because you have to bend his legs and stuff to get him back in the box. But it's this guy. And he actually does recognize voice commands. Now, I don't know if it's technology that's just old now, or if it's just my super easy to understand accent. Okay, he's gonna start doing stuff. He likes to skits out and start chopping his axe, and you say, attack, 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 Gorzak, attack. Gorzak, please attack. I'll show some videos of him downstairs actually working.
Walk.
Whee! Attack the door! Chop that shit! Like The Shining! Here's Gorzak! See if he understands your voice, Malik. Say, Gorzak, chop your axe.
You don't have to say Gorzak.
Gorzak, chop your axe.
Chop your axe.
Malik don't want to get chopped. There we go. But he's really cool, although he doesn't work very well. That's nothing to do with the fact that his electronics don't work very well anymore. I just don't think this thing ever worked that great. But it's a really cool thing, and look at him. Like I said, he looks like King Caesar from Godzilla. He's huge, he's ridiculous, but I fucking love him, and it's a toy that I've wanted for a long time. So to find one working in the box, it's even got the instructions in the box and everything like that, which is always nice. It's got all the paperwork in there and stuff like that. And to find him with his axe, and this was also one of those toys that, like, you don't even ask how much it is. I walked in the shop, in a shop called Jawa's Collectibles. I saw this on the shelf and I just knew instantly it had to come home with me. I didn't care how much it was, it had to come home with me. I just fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I've wanted one for a while, and being able to see one there in the box with all this stuff, I knew that that was going to be like my big purchase of the day. So it was, and it was a real nice price. Fortunately for me, not for the guy that was selling it, bless him, he'd only just reduced it like the day before. He'd put it down like by £10, then £20, then another £20 over the last few months, and I happened to walk in a day after he'd just reduced it again, so I got it for a really nice price. The guy was awesome as well. He also sorted me out this as part of the deal. He threw this in for free, not the whole thing, but I needed the Skullwalker saddle. He gave me a saddle for my Skullwalker, which I've wanted for a long time. When I saw that, I said, how much do you want for the saddle? He goes, I'll just throw it you in. And then I also got these things off him. So he's got lots of old McDonald's merch. Now, around my house, in my kitchen especially, I've got lots of like old fast food, tacky products and things like that. I love Americana, I love 80s and 90s pop culture and stuff like that, and decor and things like that, especially stuff from fast food restaurants. And I got these. These are a prime example of that kind of thing that I love. These are old Japanese Happy Meal bags with the Hamburglar on. So not only are they cool because they're retro, but they've also got Japanese writing on there. And I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian my whole life. I was raised that way. So I very rarely went to McDonald's. So I don't even know if it's something that's intriguing, because it was not even something that I was allowed to go to as a kid. But I'd see it from afar. Like when I used to go past the arcade when I was a little kid, and I wasn't old enough to go in, but I was intrigued by what was inside because it looked interesting. I think I'm a bit like that with McDonald's. So I grabbed these because he had loads of old McDonald's merch, but these were like the oldest and Japanese stuff that he had. So I grabbed them off him. And then I also grabbed these. You might remember these from being a kid inside the Happy Meals bags. Again, these are Japanese versions of them, but they're tiny Hot Wheels monster trucks, like actual monsters. So it's a monster truck, but then its mouth opens and it's got monster teeth inside. I'm not going to pull them out of the bags because it's a shame. They've been in them all these years, so I want to keep them in there. But I do have a loose one that I've had a while on my shelf, and there you can see it's a little monster that's mouth opens. Also, when I was a kid, in the late 80s and the early 90s and stuff, monster trucks were a big thing. It was like a whole spectacle. We would have a monster truck that we would go and see, and it would be like a character. There was one that used to come to Crystal Peaks, which is a mall near where I grew up, called Sky High. I remember going to see Sky High when I was a kid, seeing this giant monster truck. So I think these were probably riding off the back of that, but there's 4 of them. This is a blue and yellow, like, traditional style monster truck. We've got this one that is the one that I had as a kid. Nice to have him with his little hook on the back as well. And then there's these 2 that almost look a bit more like Alien, the one that I showed you loose, and then this green one. So as a kid, I had this one and I had this one. So to have all of them in a bag, in the same bag in one find, was really cool. Just another nice pickup from the Jawa Collectibles place that was in Blackpool. I got lots of other stuff in Blackpool, which I'm not going to show in this video because I'm reserving it for other videos down the line, and I don't want to ruin it by showing it off now. But there's still plenty more stuff to get through, including these. So for a while, there's been something in my dad's storage, in my mum and dad's storage, that I've been wanting to get access to. It's been there for years, and they recently found it out. And in there, these didn't belong to me, but they also give me these as well. Also, I'm not going to show what that toy is, what he found me out in storage, because I'm saving that for another video, and I don't want to ruin that reveal now, but it's a really cool piece. But in that same box, in that bag, it also had these in there. So these are old Hook vehicles from the movie Hook, the Robin Williams movie Hook. And I've never been a big collector of the Hook's toys or anything like that. I've always seen them and enjoyed the artwork and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I had these in my hand and I put them together and I realised that they was all complete and really nice. And almost like Kenner Ewok vehicles or Robin Hood Kenner vehicles, that I thought, yo, these are actually really cool. And it made me want to get the other Hook figures and maybe do a video on All Figured Out with them. I love that movie. I watched that all the time as a kid. I love the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack. I think it's Jerry Goldsmith. Oh no, it's John Williams, the soundtrack to that, when they're eating all the Never Never food. I want to do a Hook movie at some point. It was really cool to find those things, just to get those given to me recently as well. Especially all complete like that. Really, really nice pieces. I also picked up a couple of children's books. Now, children's books are something that as a kid we spend a lot of time looking through them, and then we get to, like, I don't know, an age like 10, 12 where we throw them all out and we never really think about them again until years later when we're a lot older and you see, like, the cover of one and you think, fuck, I had that as a kid. I remember it. It brings back so many memories. One of them was, for me, was this. Jan Piankowski, I hope I said his name right, Haunted House. And this is a pop-up book that I had as a kid that I don't even think I actually had as a kid thinking about it. I think it belonged to like the play group that I used to go to. They had it there, so I used to read it in there. And it's a pop-up book, so back then a lot of it would have all been pulled apart by kids and stuff like that. So to try and find this in this condition is like really, really rare. And I saw it on a Facebook Marketplace group. Someone was selling a bunch of kids' books, and I said, I just want to buy that one. What's the condition like? And she says it's pretty mint. Like there's no tears or anything broken in it, so I like sound. So I just bought that off her, and she sent it me. It was really cool. I also found out like a month later that they was re-releasing this. You can buy it again brand new that's in completely perfect condition. So if you did want to get yourself one of these for you or for your kids or anything like that, you can get it again. They've re-released it. But there's so many cool things in this, and every single little tab works. It's full of pop-up stuff. And this is one of the reasons I loved it so much, because I love kitchen, bathroom, toilet monsters on that Boglins vibe and all that kind of stuff. I love it. I love anything that's like a mutant kitchen monster. Like again, I love fast food. I love food fighters and all that kind of shit. And I love anything that's like a gross out octopus tentacle, bathroom, kitchen monster food shit. Like that pot monster that's in Elvira. Check that spaghetti monster there. All these little tabs open. None of them are ripped or broken. So it was just a real nice find. Check that King Kong. And I love that there's a little spaceship in that window that's flying past, and then that's continued on the next page. Cool. We see that the aliens landed and smashed through the bathroom window, and he's got mad tentacles and these weird eyebrow tendrils and shit like that. There's a gator there in the bath. And like I said, all these pop-up little tabs, they're all in perfect condition. They all work really nice. They're a little delicate now. I don't want to destroy them, but just check how cool that is. Absolute beast. So that was one of 2 children's books that I picked up recently that hold a lot of memories for me, and looking at them, they all came flooding back. It was crazy. So this book here, I've been looking for fucking years. I had it as a kid, and I always thought it was called The Puddle. And for years I've been Googling, like every now and again, The Puddle, boy falls in a puddle and ends up in a different dimension, Puddle boy, Puddle adventure, Puddle quest, children's book, all this stuff. Could never find it. Then my girl Rox goes on Google for 2 minutes and she finds it. So she bought it me. So big ups to her. And this is, it was crazy to get this in my hand. It's called Jeremy and the Puddle by Christopher Hobbs. I love when you've got backgrounds in books or games or movies or anything like that, where there's lots of faces hidden amongst the trees and the rocks and stuff like that, and this book is full of that stuff. So it's about a little kid who was probably a bit like me, a naughty little bastard. His mum tells him, don't splash in the puddles, you get wet, you get me wet, you dirty your clothes, don't be splashing in puddles. But this guy's like kind of obsessed with it, so he's splashing in the puddles, and his mum says don't splash in the puddles, and one day he splashes in one, and he falls all the way through it and ends up in a different dimension, and it's full of dope artwork that's all really like fine biro pen etched stuff. Really fucking awesome. And as you can see, when he lands in this world, all these like towers and buildings have got faces on them that almost look like those old ugly mug ceramic cups, handmade cups that you would get on holiday from cheap beach shops and stuff like that. They were big in the 90s and the late 80s. They remind me a lot of that. But it's so cool. And there's also something in here that, I mean, check that there. Look, there's like a mad tower that's drawn beautifully. Looks like something from the Labyrinth with a weather vane that's a goldfish. It's really surreal and crazy. But I'm a big lover of crustaceans, crabs and lobsters and stuff like that. For years I had a pet crab that I loved. I was so devastated when he died. I love that they're like little armoured tanks, and I think a lot of that love comes from the fact that in this book there's lobster guards that are like lobsters with spears in their hand, and then also there's these mantis. So this is like subliminally probably influenced my artwork so much as an adult without me even knowing it. But to look back, I can see so many things there that I will have subliminally drawn inspiration from. So when this came, I turned off all the tellies and my phone and everything like that in my house, and I just got a drink and I sat down and just proper let it take me and just read through the whole thing and looked at every little inch of it, because as a kid I would have spent hours looking at this book. So really cool. If you've got kids and you think that they'd like this book, Jeremy and the Puddle, then definitely get it. And it was only cheap. Also, hopefully somebody watches this and they had this book as well as a kid. My auntie Cags, who I love, she bought me this when I was a little kid, and I think that if you had it as a kid and also forgot about it and it sparked a little memory, it would hopefully even give you a little bit of the magic back that it gave me looking through it again. So this is a book that two books that I will treasure forever that I recently picked up, and I'm so fucking happy that I did. So the final thing that I'm going to talk about today, the final pickup of 2021, I got it at the NEC Toy Fair, so you know it was like the final pickup of 2021, because that's the day after Boxing Day. But it was this thing. Another one that got people gassed on my Instagram. So I've been after this version of the My Pet Monster, this football one, for many years. I've got his boy on my sofa, who's been there years like that as well. We've got them both there. See if we can bring them in. We get the YouTube, can we get a YouTube thumbnail like that? That's my YouTube thumbnail, probably. But yeah, I've had this guy on my sofa for years. I love this thing. It's one of my prized possessions in my toy collection. And then this guy I've wanted for years. And I told a funny story on my Instagram where years ago I was off to a battle rap event and I quickly called in a vintage centre on the way because I had some time to kill. And I saw this guy and they had one in there for like 70, 80 pound. And I wanted to get it, but it was a bit expensive at the time than what that guy was worth at the time. And also, I was on my way to a battle rap event. Now, I was actually battling at the event, so I was in a completely different headspace. I wasn't embarrassed to turn up at the battle rap event with a toy because everybody knew that I collected toys. It was one of the big things I used to get hit on when people battle rap me. That's what I would get dissed on. But I was just not in a mind frame where I was really like wanting to buy a toy on that day. I was in a completely different headspace. I was in lyrical battle mode, not in toy collector mode. So I left it and then always regretted it, almost instantly regretted it as soon as I got home. So I've always wanted one and I've never seen one out in the wild since. So I was at the NEC. I was looking to buy myself something for my birthday because it was my birthday on the 4th of January. I always spend money on myself on my birthday because I think it's important to look after yourself and buy yourself dope shit. Never deny yourself of dope shit when you see it, especially if it's something that you wish you'd have bought years ago and didn't, and you don't see them very often. But I saw this at the toy fair and I bought it off a couple, and they let it go for a price that they was not too happy with. I knocked them down a little bit. I just wanted them to come down, and then I came up a little bit and we met in the middle on a price that I'm hope that we was both happy with. But I walked around with him after at the toy fair, and a lot of people said to me, "Whoa, how much did you pay for that?" And I told them, and they were like, "No way, that's a steal." So I got him at a steal, which I'm really happy with, and he's going to live on my sofa forever. He'll bring me lots of joy. I fucking love this toy. And if you're into My Pet Monsters and these kind of toys, you know how fucking dope this guy is, especially with his handcuffs. Both of them have got the handcuffs. He's got his helmet, and I like if you pull his helmet down like that, it looks like he's in mean monster mode. So that's some of my favourite pickups from 2021. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. Let me know in the comments below what cool toys you picked up in 2021 and what toys you're looking at picking up in 2022. I know there's lots of toy hunters that watch my channel and watch this show, so I'd be interested to know what toys you're after this year. Also, if you've got any Body Wars, any Hook figures, please hit me up because I want to do videos on them and I need to complete the lines. And also, I'm going to plug the Patreon a lot this year. I'm going to do a lot of these quick talking to camera videos like this, unscripted stuff. Very, very different to my all figured out documentary videos. Just me talking to camera like this, very unscripted, because I think it's important to try and put out regular videos and keep in touch with people and stuff like that. But what I want to do is really push my Patreon this year. Now, I'm not one of these channels that drops a lot of exclusive content on the Patreon. However, I am a guy that really relies on Patreon because I do this on the side and I really want to be able to bring out more YouTube videos, but I have to obviously work and stuff like that. So if I can get a bit more revenue through my Patreon, so many people don't really rely on the money from YouTube ad revenue anymore. It's all about the Patreon. So if you can help me out a bit with the Patreon, that will make me able to bring these videos out a lot more frequent, and I want to make videos every day if I could. So if you enjoy the channel and you want to support it, then head over to patreon.com/SlimeHouseTV and consider donating $1 or more every month to what I'm doing here. I've also got lots of cool videos in the works, lots of big scripted like documentary stuff. I don't always do these forward talking to camera videos. I'm just trying to do these so that there's regular stuff dropping on the channel as well and we can get a bit of toy discussion popping and stuff like that. But I have also got all those other videos that are currently in the works that are going to be dropping as well. So there's lots of cool stuff coming onto this channel in 2022. If you did enjoy this video today, like I said, please give it a like. I'm Theo Kane. This is Slimehouse TV. I've got so much cool stuff coming. Until then, I'm going to catch you in the next video. I'm gone. See you soon. Pow!